Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Muse Jester. My name is Junior. Today we're going to unbox and review a bunch of troopers, stormtroopers, clone troopers that I got from various lots, from various days. That's just been sitting around as I've been going through these purchases to review and all that stuff. These are all basically old figures. You guys probably aren't interested in it, but they're new figures to me, or at least some of them are new figures to me, so that's kind of interesting. Here's one that I got today from a lot. Clone Pilot Hawk. I wasn't expecting this one. Thank you so much. I don't think she'll be seeing this review, or her husband, or whoever owned this. Thank you for giving that to me. Um, Luke Skywalker, Death Star Escape in Stormtrooper outfit. We're gonna look at that. And there you go. This is from a lot of 9 that I purchased for $85. This is a TIE Fighter pilot, only at GameStop, so it's GameStop exclusive. I've gotten this figure before, including with the red markings and everything. This one is the Shock Trooper Imperial. I don't think I have this one. I think the one I have is the Incinerator. I thought it was the same one, same markings, but no, it's completely different. Here's one thing I found interesting. I don't know if he bought it for this, but it was originally $24.99 at GameStop. Is that GameStop? I don't know. And then this another one, Jump Trooper. These figure and this one are the ones that made me pull the trigger on this one. Because I really wanted the Jump Trooper out of this lot. And again, this one's $22.99. Wow, huh? This one I didn't even know I was getting in the lot until I looked at it closely. Anyway, let me go ahead and open it up and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back and let's do this review from the least interesting to the most interesting one. We'll start off with the TIE Pilot. All right, so this is TIE Pilot GameStop exclusive. I've gotten this before where I said where it has this red markings. I don't know the significance of that. But yeah, this is actually kind of, when I first saw the design of this TIE Fighter pilot, I thought they were more interesting than the regular Stormtroopers. I think mostly because it has the additional hoses here and this thing in the front. Such a bulky head. It's so realistic, and yet realistic in what usual jet fighter pilots wear when they're flying, and yet real futuristic in the design because it's set in the Star Wars universe. I don't know when these figures are released, so please forgive me for not knowing that. It's got the usual articulation from the Black Series apparently, so it goes up there. The bicep cut is not there, but more in the um, elbow articulation, that's side to side. Oh, I didn't even notice that it has that detail on the gauntlet. It's not really part of the gauntlet. It's even sitting outside. There's no cut on the gauntlet. It's just side to side wrist swivel and an in and out on the wrist. I think there's a ball joint on the waist. No, it's not on the waist, but it's mostly, I guess you would say, the lower rib area. It's not really a ball peg per se where you can twist it side to side. It looks like the cut inside is limited, so you can only do a twist left to right. The belt is kind of floating in the back, but it seems like, yeah, it's floating. No drop down joint on the hips and legs, but it does kick out to 90. You can see the peg joints over here, the peg hole joints. It does a thigh cut and double jointed on the knees. And this one I'm okay because, it's black and you barely see the peg holes and the double joints over there. There's no boot cut. There is an ankle rocker. Down ankle is pretty good. Up ankle is sufficient. This is the type of articulation I've gotten used to on the 6-inch figures from Star Wars to Marvel Legends. I don't necessarily need double joints on the elbow. It does good enough job. I mean, a double jointed would be good in terms of articulation, but I don't really pose my figures a lot because I just don't have the room to pose them that way. So this is fine for me. Imagine my surprise that they're able to do this type of articulation on a 3.75, and I ended up switching over. Oh, by the way, the head articulation can go up to there, pretty much there, because it's kind of limited in a way with these hoses. This one came off. But yeah, really nice. Does everything I need. I noticed that in some of these troopers they have this pouch or holster for the gun that you can put it in there. Kind of wish that was a standard because it's nice to just holster their gun like that and have them display like that. So yeah, this is my least favorite because I already have this. I've already seen it. Even though I really do love the design, I love the fact that they put in these red markings over there. Just out of this five, this is the least interesting one. Here's a different one that's interesting. This is the incinerator. No, I'm sorry. This is the um, shock trooper. So I love the combination of the red and the white. It has a very nice separation, or to get rid of that boredom of just a plain white stormtrooper. I mean, it is cool to see them all white and clean and pristine, but at the same time, having these different uh, colored stormtroopers in the ranks, it's really kind of interesting. So, who's this guy again? Freaking, I keep forgetting. Shock Trooper. So obviously, it's got all the normal designs of a stormtrooper, except for the flashes of red in the uniform. Oh, look at that! I didn't realize that the back would be a different color. I thought it would just be red all around. What's the reason for that? I don't know. But yeah, so and then he comes with this gun or rifle. It's kind of interesting. It's got a gunmetal finish with some sort of what would you call it? It's not really dry brushing of silver. It's kind of, I don't know what it is, but nice detail and everything. And then he comes with a regular blaster of a stormtrooper, which again, this one comes with that holster. I am loving that. I wish all of them had it. I wonder in the Star Wars, in the original 4, 5, and 6 um, episodes, did they all have this? I don't think they all did, but I'm not entirely sure. Um, the third one in the bunch is the Luke Skywalker and Stormtrooper disguise. Now this one is kind of interesting because I wasn't really expecting this one to be in the group. I'm surprised because in the photographs I knew it was unhelmeted and I wasn't paying attention to the name. I thought it was interesting that one of the stormtroopers had an unhelmeted look, but I wasn't expecting it to be the Luke Skywalker version. And as I've said before, now that I have him, I need to hunt down Han Solo's version of this. Because Mark Hamill is shorter than Harrison Ford, they needed to figure out how to make this version of the Stormtrooper shorter than Harrison Ford. And one of the things they did was shorten the torso over here. As you can see, that's the difference. You guys probably know that already. Why am I telling you? But it's kind of interesting. I think I don't again. I don't know when this was released. It gives him those gorilla arms. I don't know when this was released, but I feel like this was after 2018 or something like that because it already has.
Sorry, I didn't find a group or device named living room.
Oh man. So I don't know when this was produced. It has to be after 2018 or something because it already has, I think, a very good paint application on the face. I don't know if it's the face printing yet. It doesn't have the usual eyeshadow, but it's still very crisp paint application specifically around the eyes. And I can almost tell there's a glint of white showing where the teeth should be. Slick back hair, the slick look of the hair pulled back because of the water in it. That's really interesting. And it's dirty because he's been in the trash compartment. Yes, you can put the head on top of this one if you want to, but I'll be displaying them with them holding the bucket over here. Funnily enough, I have this version and Hansel's version in the 3.75. I bought them together. I believe I bought them together for like say $25. So this has to be an old mold because look at the joints, really old. Doesn't have the big thick joints that they have now. Doesn't look good too, but I'm surprised that they had this one. It's double jointed on the elbow, but barely. And yeah, whether you're moving on the upper joint or the lower joint, it still gives you more than 90 degrees on the elbow. So, and then kind of afraid to move this around because I can feel it separating here in the bicep. Oh, and it has a bicep cut, unlike the newer figures. And nothing on the elbow. So the rotation is on the bicep. Now the way this pauldron is attached, it's pretty much attached all the way from the bottom here to the top. So that's limiting the movement of the shoulder. I'm glad that they improved the design of this one because that's really kind of irritating to see that, but it's an older figure. I'm okay with it now. Rotation on the wrist, in and out on the wrist, the cut on the lower rib for the whole body. It's a ball joint. It gives you a little bit of side to side, but just by a little bit. This really looks weird, looks truncated. That's kind of a shame. The knee, the hip to the leg, I don't know if it's just my version being stiff or it's just really bad design, but you have to kind of twist it to the side to get them to the 90. This is the same symptoms as the 3.75 where the ball joint is not necessarily going sideways. It does have a thigh cut underneath here that's hidden well, and a double joint on the knee. The ankle goes down by that much, more than enough, goes up more than enough, and yes, even how old this is, still has the ankle rocker and has the blaster, the usual blaster. I think they keep saying in some of the reviews, I think this is the E11 blaster. They keep saying it enough that I'm starting to learn the term for it. So it's got that thing over there. Does all Stormtrooper have this? Nope, apparently only he has that, and they don't have this one here. Interesting. And he does come with this miniature communication device where he calls 3PO, 3PO, where are you, 3PO? What could he be doing, 3PO? 3PO? 3PO, can you hear me, 3PO? Yeah, that's funny. Well, not my rendition, but the way he keeps saying that. Where could he be? And then also he comes with this stand. So this is the first time I've ever seen the stand. So it's new to me. So maybe this is where people started getting the idea of this type of foot system. And they copied it, but I don't know why they would copy it. Look at it. Look at how useful is that? He's always gonna be uneven because there's nothing here. And here's another one from this one. And what is it supposed to be like that? It doesn't make sense to me. Now the one that's being 3D printed by regular people, they have it on a square and they have only one of this, but at least it will rest like this. The idea was in new innovation in terms of stands, but poorly executed in my opinion. And that's it for Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper. Oh, look at that. It doesn't match the coloring of the white. That's a shame. And but other than that, I'm okay with it. I'm never going to display him with this one. Just got to figure out how he can hold on to this helmet. Now, this one is a Jump Trooper. This is one of the reasons why I bought this lot, because it makes my Jump Troopers up to 3. I need to look for 2 more. An interesting design. This is almost like a mixture between a regular Stormtrooper and a TIE pilot. Again, because of the hoses, and then he has this backpack over here. Intricate belt. Really interesting back design. So what did they do? Did they just basically reuse the same body that a Stormtrooper has, except for the pauldron and the helmet, and putting in the back? Because you notice it has this in here, right? The belt is the same. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I really love the design. I mean, obviously it's a Stormtrooper, but a different kind of Stormtrooper. Luckily, by this time, they've already changed a little bit on how they design this pauldron, so you can get a little bit more up. They retain the ugly elbow joint, has the bicep rotation and everything. So I feel like their move towards the rotation on the elbow joint is much more successful, because it doesn't compromise on the sculpture of the bicep. The wrist rotates and moves in and out on the articulation. The joint is here and the lower ribs, very stiff on mine, but luckily it's on a peg ball joint. That's the aperture must be big enough to allow it to move like that. And at least this one has maybe a little bit of forward and a little bit more on the back. Nothing on the waist. And for the hip thigh, it's gonna be the same as the Luke Skywalker one. Ooh, that's me really pushing that, so I'm really uncomfortable in that. It does have a thigh rotation, as we've seen before, but if you have it the leg up like this, you won't be able to rotate it, because this armor will just be in the way. So you can't really have him posing. How do I want to use this? Posing where he has this 90 degrees and this one 90 degrees. That's kind of a shame. Other than that, very same rotation for the knees and legs as the Luke Skywalker. It has the E11 blaster, and then the same one here. We have a holster. Perfect. And I think this is the one that came with this one, which is a ridiculous stand. As I look at it some more, very beautiful orange here. I only have 3. I need to look at for 2 more of this. Wait, do I only have 3 of this or 4? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just need to look for 1 more. And I'm done with my Jump Troopers. Why is his pauldron white? Always has to be somebody who wants to stand out. Damn, look at that. Cool. Very cool. And he has a white holster. Yeah. It doesn't have the yellow. And this is not the one that came with the package, right? So it's this one. So anyway, okay, so the most interesting of all the bunch is this guy, the new guy, the free guy. Thank you so much for giving it to me. I wasn't expecting it, but I love it. I love the design. This is from the Clone Trooper area, and he's a pilot. So I guess he is the more previous version from the TIE pilot. As this one, we can kind of see it. With this one's thinner, this one's thicker. The hoses in the front. Yeah. And this one supposed to design, I guess, to come down, but it doesn't really. The only thing is his body is, this body is more realistically proportioned, I think. Like it has a big helmet, which is just fine by me, because it's supposed to be a helmet that fits in a regular human head. and this one looks too small for me. But yeah, nice design. The blues, I like the blues. The red in this one. Um, yeah, it doesn't have a holster. This TIE Pilot has a holster, so too bad he doesn't have a holster for his blaster, which is probably not called the E11 blaster because it's a clone blaster. So he's probably have a different designation as that one. But articulation wise, oh, no hindering from this pauldron over here. Goes full 90 degrees, double jointed on the elbow, less obtrusive. He still has the bicep cut. Rotation at the wrist, in and out on the wrist. Very stiff on the lower rib rotation, so at the most you can do only rotate, no side. There is some side to side, but it's hampered by this belt. And the leg, you have to twist it to the side so it goes like this. As you can see, the angle over here. This is kind of like what it looks like as my tier 2 articulation for 3.75. Double jointed on the knees, not completely touching there. The ankle, I'm gonna say nothing on back because the sculpt design here, he has that much on the forward, but at least he still has his rocker. That's it for my review unboxing of my 5 Trooper collection, from least to favorite, only because I already have them. It's not necessarily because I like the design less or more than this one. It's just the, I never had this one. That's why I'm more interested in this one. This one I'm more interested because it's almost completing my 5 set of Jump Troopers. This one's interesting because it has Mark Hamill's face, Luke Skywalker's face. This one's interesting because I don't think I have one of this at all. Maybe he's my second one. And this one's the least interesting because I have 4 or 5 of this already. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye bye.